Voting is a civic duty. Let's register on the electoral list. This is a message from Equinoxe Television.
Good evening to all of you, faithful viewers of Equinoxe Television. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the news. Our major stories tonight: the political landscape in Cameroon becomes more and more interesting, with resignations from the government in place after declaring his candidacy for upcoming election. Bello Buba Maigaru's UNDP party members want Zibong Rose, a government minister, and UNDP party militants to resign. But Rose says no, she won't. Details in this news edition. We will also be telling you about the political weight of the northern regions of Cameroon that sees some months to the presidential election in Cameroon with our political analyst. And also, this sounds like a blow to the Bisosolo family in Douala after their daughter, Ofe June, was brutally raped and killed in Bonapriso. Here in Douala, Ofe's father, who has been demanding for justice for the brutal killing of his daughter, dies tragically in a road accident that was yesterday. Viewers, those are our lead stories. Details. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for the confidence. We begin with this sad story, which sounds like a heavy blow to the Bisosolo family here in the economic capital Douala, precisely at Bonapriso. 9 months after the death of his daughter, he died in a tragic road accident on the Equinoxe road that was yesterday, June 13. Emile Gaston Bisosolo is the father to the lady Ofe, who was raped and killed by unknown individuals in the Bonapriso neighborhood in Douala. That was on the 29th of December 2024. Unfortunately, his journey for justice for his little girl was cut short. He died in a road accident that was yesterday. Let's now have details with Mala Glory, who was at their residence in Bonapriso today.
It is a calm atmosphere at his business site, a popular restaurant in the Bali neighborhood, Douala. The eatery is closed as workers say they are still to come to terms with the death of their boss, Emile Gaston Bissot. The shocking neighbors cry not only for the death of the man, but of the fact that he could not get justice for his daughter, who was raped and killed by unidentified individuals on the 29th of December 2024 in the Bonapriso neighborhood. This man has gone through a lot. Only 3 years in this neighborhood he lost his daughter, and today he is dead. I am worried for his wife. The young man died in a tragic road accident on the Efok-Ebebda highway in the Center region on Monday, June 30th. The accident occurred when his vehicle was crashed into a ravine by a speedy heavy-duty truck, which lost control, according to witnesses. From the 3 people who were on board the private vehicle, 2 sustained severe injuries, while Emile Gaston died on the spot. Since the death of his daughter 9 months ago, Emile Gaston has been calling for justice for his little girl to no avail. Bissot and his daughter dies, leaving behind a wife and mother to mourn them.
Our sincere condolences to the bereaved family, especially the mother and also the wife. Now we take you to the southwest region. The Anglophone crisis continues. At least 1 person has died and 3 others severely wounded after gunmen attacked the Mara 16 neighborhood of Boya that was on the traditional Monday ghost town evening. The 1 person killed is a businessman who sells roadside fuel just opposite the shopping mall in Mara 16. The others injured are currently being treated in the hospital in Boya. Lucy Liengu is here, tells us more.
A wave of panic swept through Mile 16 and its environs following an alleged separatist attack on Monday evening. From 8 p.m., a tense atmosphere prevailed. with sporadic gunshots heard throughout the area and taxis set ablaze.
Mile 16, Bolifamba, southwest region of Cameroon. We had a serious problem this night, breaking Tuesday, that 4 vehicles were burned and 1 person reported dead and several wounded, and they were taken to the hospital. We came there this morning time and we saw 4 vehicles already burnt.
Witnesses report that the 1 person killed was a roadside fuel vendor just opposite the shopping mall in mile 16.
So we lost 1 person and the rest, they shoot some. There was 1 person with a private car, they shot him on the leg. So they took those that they were wounded and they took them to the hospital.
As if taking a life wasn't enough, 2 taxis were set ablaze by the alleged separatists. On the incident scene, complete calm is yet to return, and local inhabitants say they are overwhelmed by uncertainty.
Shooting that one, it was unbearable that nobody could stand.
With years passing, lives continue to waste in the socio-political crisis in Cameroon's Anglophone regions, leaving many displaced and some seeking refuge in precarious conditions in other regions.
And now in politics, the political landscape in Cameroon becomes more and more interesting with the resignation of some members of government. Cameroonian government, member of government Marie-Rose Dibong refuses to resign despite her party's decision to break ties with the ruling party and support Belobuba Maigari's presidential bid. Citing her valid appointment through a presidential decree, she expressed her commitment to serving Cameroon. Immaculate Fogwe tells us more about her recent outing while highlighting her political parcours or career.
Cameroonian Secretary of State at the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Marie-Rose Dibong, put an end to speculations about her future in the government, stating unequivocally that she will not be leaving her post. In a clear and direct message on national radio, Dibong emphasized her commitment to serving Cameroonians rather than her party, the National Union for Democracy and Progress, NUDP. Despite the NUDP's recent decision to support Belobuba Maigari's presidential bid, Dibong revealed that she was not consulted on the matter and refuses to resign from her position as Secretary of State at the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. She states, I am not leaving the government. As a member of the government, I work for my country, not for my political party. No rule obliges me to resign, and such decisions are personal. I won't resign from the government for this. The NUDP party's decision to support Maigari's candidacy had sparked rumors about potential resignations from government positions held by party members. However, Dibong's firm stance suggests that she is determined to continue serving in her role regardless of the party's political decisions. But who really is Marie-Rose Dibong? Born in March 20, 1950 in Libamba, Makak subdivision in Nyoankele division, Marie-Rose Dibong holds a master's degree in computer science and business management from Paris-Dauphine University. Her career began in 1978 as a computer engineer at the Presidency's General Secretariat. She progressed through various roles, including IT project manager and technical advisor at the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. Rose Dibong is among the founding members of the NUDP party and was elected president of the Women's Wing in 1992, a position she occupies till date. From 2001 to 2012, she served as Deputy Director General of the Cameroon Real Estate Credit Institution. In 2011, she was appointed Secretary of State for Housing, a role she continues to hold in the current government.
And now, what can be the impact of some of these resignations? Political analysts say the presidential ambitions of Issa Chiruma Bakari and Belobuba Maigari will somehow weaken the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM. Others, however, think it will have a negative impact on the opposition as the CPDM will make use of other options. Babila Jonathan.
Issa Chiroma Bakari's resignation from the government and the subsequent announcement of his candidacy for the 2025 presidential election, as well as Minister Bello Buba Maigari's presidential ambitions, are seen as factors that will weaken the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement (CPDM) political party following the end of the political collaboration between the two parties and the CPDM. The decision of the two northern politicians to end the partnership with the ruling party is seen by Jean-Pierre Ndefo, political analyst, as a major blow to the CPDM. Other analysts, however, think that the presidential ambitions of Issa Chiroma Bakari and Bello Buba Maigari is, however, seen by others as the beginning of a solution, an eye-opener, and a blow to the opposition.
If they think that for the years they have been associating with the CPDM has not brought them much joy, well, we can only say, you know, it's their right to say they don't want to continue. But at the same time, I want to say that, you know, sometimes things like this need to happen for us to change and get better things. Because, you know, look at it critically, there are already so many opposition candidates, and by them resigning and then declaring that they are also candidates, it only adds to that pool, and in reality it weakens the opposition.
According to CPDM officials and militants, the rupture with the two allies will not affect the ruling party's strength or performance.
CPDM has many other options, and CPDM is going to work on those options, and CPDM will still beat them at their game. They should realize that the party politics they have been playing, be they opposition or whatever, up until now, has not been the kind of politics that solve the problems of youth, women, and the community.
Political analyst Dr. Nick Nkwayam adds that the only way for the two northern leaders to gain some credibility and make an impact in the country's politics is by getting their parties into an alliance with another leader, especially one with a national perspective.
If that is their thinking, and they were going to all fall behind someone like Joshua Osi, who is an Anglophone, to be the presidential candidate, fair and good. But if they think that the third president of the country after 63, 65 years to still be another Francophone, then that's just being unfair, and it creates another problem.
By declaring their intention to be the flag bearers of the Cameroon National Salvation Front and the National Union for Democracy and Progress, both Issa Chiroma Bakari and Bello Buba Maigari claim to be responding to the calls of their followers.
What then is the political strength or the political weight of the northern regions of Cameroon? A political analyst says the ruling CPDM will miss out votes somehow from the Grand North if resignations continue. According to Charles Fongang, the Grand North, that holds the highest voting population, will be a level land for all political parties standing for the presidential election should the agreement continue to fall out. What impact does the Grand North have on Cameroon, especially during elections? Simanji Kangibro talked to Charles Fongang and put together this report.
The Far North region, from a demographic view, is the most populous region in the country with nearly 4.7 million inhabitants. According to official figures, about 2.5 million inhabitants are in the north, slightly less than 1.5 million in Adamawa. The three account to more than 8.5 million Cameroonians, representing over 1/3 of the national population. With the ongoing resignation, a political analyst makes an appraisal.
Every Cameroonian that believes that he is qualified to stand for the presidential election is free to do so. So Issa Chiroma Bakari as Cameroonian is free to take the decision he took. That will also give courage to some others who are in the CPDM party, directly from the CPDM party, who are there, who are not supporting, agreeing with the President Biya regime.
The numbers of the Grand North confirm their influence in the National Assembly. The three regions hold about 58 seats. Likewise, ministerial positions and key posts in armed forces, leadership of public enterprises, and diplomatic missions are entrusted to the individuals from the Grand North. The decision for top elite of the Grand North to leave the government means
these resignations will have a great impact, especially on the CPDM. You know that for many decades now, Bello Buba Maigari and Issa Chiroma Bakari were calling the electorate to vote for the CPDM candidates. And now that they are themselves candidates, these electorates that were voting for the CPDM will now vote directly to them.
Historically, the Grand North has played a key role in the shaping of the country. They made things possible for Paul Biya in the 1992 elections to help him win against Ni John Frundi. Beyond the numbers, the region has been a loyal servant to the ruling political party, but with the upcoming elections, they are now experiencing a new dynamics.
Now let's talk about the poor state of the roads in the economic capital, Douala. The deplorable state of the road has been causing traffic congestion. City dwellers complain that they have had to stay for several hours on the spot, and that also has been affecting negatively economic activities in Douala. Cedric Chakucho tells us more.
The ongoing rehabilitation of roads in the city of Douala are causing traffic disruptions. Damaged roads, embankments, and broken roads are making traffic difficult or even impossible in some places. Here, at the Bepesite neighborhood, the rehabilitation causes significant traffic disruption, a deplorable situation undergone by road users. It's really hard when I see them at this time of the day. It's true, it is a good thing to fix the road, but when they do this now, it causes traffic. To some, this is the wrong moment to start rehabilitation works. It is not the right time to start work on these roads. It's the rainy season. Everything will get bad in less than a month. Same situation faced by inhabitants of the Grand Gare neighborhood in the Douala 4 subdivision. Here, road users expressed their frustration over the rehabilitation of the road, which was launched months ago. Disruptions which affect local businesses, economic activities, and the daily lives of the residents. It's an ordeal. We spend 4 hours, sometimes 5, just to get from one place to another. It's as if we have been forgotten here. We don't start work during the rainy season. I have the impression that they wait until elections are approaching to make a good impression.
C'est mort, ça c'est le temps mort, c'est grave. Le travail c'est le matin. Après le matin, il n'y a plus de travail. C'est le jonglage maintenant, c'est grave.
It is really difficult. This prevents us from moving around normally, and for us, it is a real nightmare. While waiting the end of the rehabilitation, the inhabitants are calling for solutions to ask to accelerate the works in the city.
And now in culture, have you noticed that our mother tongue or dialects are gradually disappearing somehow? Nowadays, people hardly speak their mother tongues to their children at home, and cultural advocates say the negative impacts of colonialism is still very much felt in Cameroon today, as the colonial masters discouraged somehow the use of local languages in favor of foreign languages in Cameroon, English and French. This has led somehow to the gradual disappearance of the country's cultural heritage. In an effort to ensure the preservation of the country's rich cultural heritage, experts saying there is need to promote local languages within families. Mala Glory spoke with one of them and put together this report for the news.
Experts advance that local heritage, which helps to shape and preserve the identity of Cameroonians, is gradually shifting away. For example, local languages, which is part and parcel of a community's origin, has been replaced with the use of foreign languages, thus failing to represent the country's diversity. I usually say we are really empty without our language. So what we are doing today is to bring back what
le travail que nous sommes en train de faire, c'est justement de ramener ces choses-là que eux, des livres en langue, en nos langues.
Just like there are books written to help children learn the mother tongue.
Et revenir vraiment sur nos bases en fait.
The president of Our Origins, an association which promotes the Cameroonian culture, was speaking in Douala today during a press briefing with objective to promote the use of local languages in the country. Members of the association say that a well-established procedure is necessary for local languages to be made official.
The World Committee have to do the job. In the terms of the research at the university, Summer International of Linguistics in Yaoundé, you have Cameroon Association for Translation Bible, the Department of African Languages and Linguistics which are working together.
The meeting in Douala is aimed at announcing the 4th edition of the upcoming festival on July 3rd in Douala, which will bring together different tribes in Cameroon. However, other opinion holds that adopting local names for towns, regions and other public structures can go a long way to reclaim the country's cultural heritage and foster a sense of national unity.
Now let's treat you to news out of our national frontiers. In Côte d'Ivoire, a sociologist and PPA, a Côte d'Ivoire activist, has been sentenced to 8 months in prison after he published a photo on social media. Over to Equatorial Guinea, where Baltasar Ngonga appeared in front of the court for the first time since his arrest that was last year involved in a sex scandal. The senior official was acquitted and prosecuted instead for alleged embezzlement of public funds. Cedric Chakucho with our foreign page roundup.
In Equatorial Guinea, Baltasar Ebang Ngonga appeared before the Malabo court this Monday at the opening of his trial for alleged embezzlement of public funds. As head of the National Financial Investigation Agency, this Equatorial Guinean official was engaged in a sex scandal involving numerous women with scenes observed in his office. As this video circulated online, he was arrested and prosecuted. Against all expectations, investigators suspect him of having diverted sums of money to bank accounts abroad in the Cayman Islands. The senior official was acquitted and prosecuted for alleged embezzlement of public funds. In Guinea-Conakry, during a press conference held in Conakry, Dansa Kourouma, president of the National Transitional Council, officially presented the new constitution adopted on June 26, 2025. Among the changes is the establishment of its 7-year presidential term renewal only once. The most important point is that General Mamadi Doumbia's eligibility for the upcoming presidential election. Having led the transition since the September 2021 coup against Alpha Condé, the junta leader had initially pledged via the transitional charter not to run in the next election. This reversal has sparked strong reactions from the opposition and civil society, who see it as a disguised attempt to extend his power. This institutional reform, according to its postponement, aims to strengthen democracy and the balance of powers. And in Côte d'Ivoire, Ivorian sociologist Gala Kolibi was sentenced by the Abidjan Court of First Instance on Monday, June 30, 2025 to 18 months in prison and a fine of 500,000 francs CFA. The court found the activist from Laurent Gbagbo's party guilty of distributing public order and spreading false news. It all started with a picture shared on social media in late December 2024 showing an injured PPACI party activist with a comment warning about the detention conditions of Laurent Gbagbo's supporter. According to his lawyer, the intention was not to cause harm but to challenge the public authorities. Kola Kolibi was returned to the Abidjan Penal Center where he has been incarcerated since late December. His lawyer intends to appeal this decision.
Thank you, Cedric. That report brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Viewers, for some reasons beyond our control, we won't be having talking points tonight. Stay with us as our programs continue. Equinoxe Soir comes up in about 35 minutes or so with Saga Lang, and the news in the French language comes up at 8 p.m. with Irish Ngonomala. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television and see you again tomorrow, same time, God willing. Bye-bye for now.